All right, let's get to the latest developments in the deadly Alabama shooting involving two men from the D.C. area. New video shows moments leading up to that murder.
One of the men charged is a former University of Alabama student and basketball player who reportedly went to high school in the district.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
This is the story of Jamia Harris, age 23, a young and vibrant mother who was fatally shot by two strangers for saying no to one of them. It was later revealed that one of the two strangers was a popular basketball star player at the University of Alabama. Darius Miles and Michael Lynn Davis were somehow trying to flirt with Jamia when things got out of control. Because she had rejected their advances, it led to one of the two men handing the gun to the other to shoot the victim. Welcome to Crime Berry Story. Please consider supporting our channel by subscribing and turning on the notification bell icon. And remember to like, share, and comment, as your engagement truly means the world to us. This story takes us to Birmingham, Alabama, the largest and most populous city in the state. Known as the cultural and economic hub of Alabama, Birmingham is a vibrant and historic destination that offers a wide array of activities and attractions. Visitors can explore its rich history through renowned museums such as the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, which chronicles the city's pivotal role in the civil rights movement. The city is also home to breathtaking historic landmarks, such as the Vulcan statue, the largest cast iron statue in the world, symbolizing Birmingham's industrial heritage. Beyond history, Birmingham boasts an exciting mix of entertainment, including thriving sports scenes, live theater performances, and an impressive culinary landscape with restaurants offering everything from classic Southern comfort food to innovative fine dining experiences. It's a city that beautifully balances its storied past with modern-day vibrancy, making it a captivating backdrop for this tragic case. On getting home from her night shift, Jamia Harris tugged on her son Kane's little jacket, laughing as he wriggled in protest. "Mommy, I can do it," the 5-year-old declared, his small hands fumbling with the zipper. She smiled, stepping back to let him try. He was so much like her, independent, determined, and just a little stubborn. "Okay, big man. Let's see what you've got," she teased, crossing her arms and leaning against the doorway of their cozy apartment in Winona, Mississippi. Kane grinned triumphantly when he finally zipped the jacket all the way up. "See? Told you. You're growing up too fast," she said, pulling him into a hug. Moments like this made the long, exhausting nights at Amazon worth it. Jamia worked the overnight shift, coming home at dawn with aching feet and a heart full of determination. She had dreams, not just for herself but for Kane. She wanted him to have everything she hadn't growing up. A stable home. A future brimming with opportunity. She was already planning to go back to school, though it wasn't easy juggling work and parenthood. But if there was one thing Jamia was, it was a fighter. That weekend, though, she had decided to take a rare break. Her cousin Tasha, a student at the University of Alabama, had been begging her to visit for weeks. "You need some fun, girl," Tasha had said. And Jamia finally agreed. On January 15, 2023, Jamia had decided to visit her cousin. She decided to drive down there with her longtime boyfriend. She didn't know it would be the last time she'd ever see Kane's bright smile. The air was cool as Jamia, Tasha, and Jamia's boyfriend pulled into the parking lot of a local restaurant. They were all hungry after spending the evening exploring the University of Alabama campus. Jamia sat in the passenger seat of her car, Tasha in the driver's seat, and her boyfriend relaxed in the back. As they waited for their food to be prepared, the atmosphere was light-hearted. Jamia joked with Tasha, and her boyfriend chimed in with playful banter. It was one of those simple moments where life felt easy. But that peace was soon shattered. Two men approached the car. One of them, a tall, confident figure with a swagger that spoke of arrogance, leaned closer to Jamia's window. The other hung back but seemed just as involved. "What's up, ladies?" the man said, flashing a grin that didn't reach his eyes. Jamia exchanged a glance with Tasha. "We're good, thanks," she replied politely but firmly. The men didn't take the hint. They circled the car, trying to get their attention. Tasha joined Jamia in making it clear they weren't interested. "We've got boyfriends," she said, her tone sharper now. But the men kept pushing. Their persistence shifted the energy in the car from annoyance to unease. Jamia's boyfriend rolled down his window and spoke up. "Hey man. They said they're not interested. Let it go." The taller man turned his attention to him, his face twisting into a smirk. "You don't know who I am. You don't know what I do. I smack people." Jamia's boyfriend didn't flinch. "I don't care who you are," he said, his voice steady. "Just leave us alone." The exchange grew more heated, and Jamia's boyfriend decided it was time to go. "Let's just get out of here," he said, sensing the tension escalating. But they couldn't leave yet. Their food hadn't been delivered, and the men's car was now blocking them in. The men didn't leave. Instead, the taller one returned to their car, reaching inside. When he turned back, he was holding a gun. Inside Jamia's car, panic set in. Her boyfriend, who had a firearm of his own for protection, prepared himself. "Stay down," he warned Jamia and Tasha, his voice low and urgent. The taller man approached their car, his weapon glinting in the dim light. Before anyone could process what was happening, gunfire erupted. Jamia screamed as bullets shattered glass and whizzed past her. Her boyfriend returned fire, determined to protect the women he cared about. The exchange was chaotic, the air filled with deafening cracks of gunfire. As the two men fled, the taller one turned back and fired a shot toward the car. The bullet found its mark, striking Jamia. She gasped, clutching her side as pain overtook her. "Jamia!" Tasha screamed, reaching for her cousin. Jamia's boyfriend threw the car into gear and sped away, desperate to find help. "Hang on, Jamia," he pleaded, his voice breaking. "Just hang on." By the time they spotted a police car and flagged it down, Jamia's breathing had slowed. Her cousin held her hand, tears streaming down her face as she begged her to stay awake. Tuscaloosa police and University of Alabama police arrived quickly, but there was nothing they could do. Jamia was pronounced dead at the scene. Her boyfriend and cousin were in shock, replaying the horrific events in their minds. What should have been a simple night out had turned into a nightmare. The flashing red and blue lights illuminated the dark streets of Tuscaloosa as officers began their investigation. Jamia's boyfriend, still trembling from the shock of what had unfolded, recounted the terrifying events. He described the two men, their car, and the senseless escalation that led to Jamia's death. With the help of video surveillance from nearby businesses and witness statements, the police quickly identified the suspects: Darius Miles, a celebrated basketball player at the University of Alabama, and his friend, Michael Lynn Davis. The news spread like wildfire. Darius Miles? The basketball star? The revelation stunned the community. It was unthinkable that someone with such a promising future could be involved in something so heinous. The arrests came swiftly. Darius Miles, nursing a gunshot wound from Jamia's boyfriend's return fire, was taken into custody. His mother, who was present during the arrest, watched in disbelief as her son sobbed, professing his love for her. Michael Lynn Davis was apprehended shortly after, showing little resistance. Both men were charged with capital murder, a charge that carried the weight of their crime, an innocent woman's life taken in a moment of reckless violence. Back in Winona, Jamia's family received the devastating news. Her mother collapsed into a chair, her body shaking with sobs. "No, no, not my baby," she whispered over and over. The hardest part was telling Kane. The 5-year-old didn't understand. He clung to his grandmother's leg, his small face scrunched in confusion. "Where's Mommy?" he asked. "When is she coming back?" Grandmother couldn't bring herself to answer at first. When she finally found the words, they felt hollow. "Mommy's with the angels now," she said, her voice breaking. Kane stared at her, his young mind struggling to process the reality of a life without his mother. For Jamia's cousin Tasha, the survivor's guilt was overwhelming. She replayed the events in her head, wondering if there was something she could have done differently. The sound of gunfire haunted her dreams, and the memory of Jamia's final moments lingered like a shadow she couldn't escape. When Miles and Davis appeared in court for the first time, they faced the full weight of the law. Both men were denied bail, and the capital murder charges against them meant they could face life in prison without parole, or worse. The courtroom was filled with a mix of grief and anger. Jamia's family sat together, clutching tissues and photographs of the young woman whose life had been stolen. Miles' defense team argued that he had no intent to kill and had been caught up in a tragic series of events. But prosecutors painted a different picture, one of arrogance and entitlement leading to violence. The gun, they argued, was handed to Davis with full knowledge of what might happen next.
All right, let's get to the latest developments in the deadly Alabama shooting involving two men from the D.C. area. New video shows moments leading up to that murder.
One of the men charged is a former University of Alabama student and basketball player who reportedly went to high school in the district.
This is 21-year-old Darius Miles at the time of his arrest in Alabama. He's charged with capital murder but claims he's innocent, saying, I swear, I love you more than you can imagine," while he's loaded into a police squad car. Listen.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
The shooting early Sunday morning near the campus of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa reportedly followed a minor altercation between people in two cars. Shots were exchanged and a 23-year-old woman, Jamia Harris, was fatally wounded. She was a passenger in one of the cars. A Ring camera on a home nearby captured the sound of the gunshots. Some of you may find this upsetting. Miles and 20-year-old Michael Davis of Charles County are both facing murder charges. The victim was the mother of a 5-year-old child. Darius was a member of the University of Alabama basketball team, though suffering from an ankle injury this season and not playing. He's now been dropped from the team. Head coach Nate Oates speaking with reporters Monday.
Tough situation. I talked to Darius's mother multiple times yesterday. Very hard situation on both accounts. So, we just continue to pray for Jamia and her family, although I didn't know them, but they're certainly in our thoughts and prayers, and continuing to pray for Darius's situation too. It's just an unfortunate incident that I wish we weren't having to deal with today.
In a posting on Facebook, Darius's father, David Miles, a high school basketball coach here in D.C., asks for his followers' support and love, and that if anybody can afford to be in Tuscaloosa in court today to support Darius, the family would appreciate that. And we are still trying to confirm that Darius Miles and Michael Davis will be in court today. Again, Miles' attorney is claiming his innocence this
Turn now to the murder of a young mother in Tuscaloosa and hearing from her family left behind.
I waited till nobody was here and we were alone in the house. And I sat him down and I said, baby, mama's not coming back. She's not coming home. She was hurt really bad, and they weren't able to save her. So mommy's an angel now. We refer to her as an angel, and I said mommy's a angel in heaven now, but she'll always be with you. And I just hugged him and I just squeezed him. He cried a little bit. And he just kind of laid his head back and he closed his eyes, and he was like, "My mommy an angel now," and I was like, "Your mommy's an angel now." Every day, she was full of energy, full of life. I mean, Jamia was everybody's best friend. When she was a little girl, she was everybody's best friend. Everybody wanted to be Jamia's friend.
Despite their grief, Jamia's family worked tirelessly to ensure her legacy lived on. They held a candlelight vigil in her honor, filling the evening with tearful stories, warm laughter, and heartfelt prayers. Balloons in shades of pink and purple, Jamia's favorite colors, were released into the night sky. Jamia was more than just a victim, her mother said at the vigil. She was a light, a daughter, a mother, a friend. And we're going to make sure her light never goes out. Jamia's death sparked outrage and important conversations nationwide. Advocacy groups for women's safety highlighted the dangers of harassment and the fear women often live with simply for saying no. No woman should lose her life because she turned someone down, one activist declared. Vigils were held not just in Winona but across the country, as Jamia's story resonated far beyond her small town. Life without Jamia would never be the same for her family, especially Kane. But they were determined to honor her in every way they could. We do hope Jamia receives the justice she deserves. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Jamia Harris. May memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. If you enjoy stories like this, please consider supporting our channel by subscribing and turning on the notification bell icon. And remember to like, share, and comment, as your engagement truly means the world to us.